Yeah, man, okay, I'm just gonna leave those there.
As time ticks by, still I try.
Green Hell VR is probably one of the top 10 games in my VR library, but it's kind of disappointing what's happened to it. I bought the game very shortly after it released on Steam, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I mean, I never played the flat screen version of the game, but from all the trailers and gameplay and like the IGN stuff, I looked at it and thought, hey, this is going to be really good. And I wasn't wrong, but I do regret buying it as early as I did. Now, I'm going to talk about what the devs did right before I talk about why I regret buying it as early as I did. And just a quick heads up, I'm talking mostly about the PC version of the game. For the good stuff, it applies to all versions of the game, but for the bad, it just applies to the PC version. Let's talk about the most obvious thing that this game did good. As you're seeing on screen right now, the game looks absolutely stunning. I'm playing on high, and everything from the foliage to the water effects just on the ground. This looks like it will work. Look absolutely amazing. The only VR game that I've seen that does graphics better is really Half-Life Alyx. This also does kind of bite the game in the ass, but I'll get to that later in the video. Another high point about this game is how well they are able to immerse you in this world. Now, it's a lot of little things, like having to check your arms and legs, like here. From things like cuts, leeches, parasites, which is kind of gross. It just does such a good job, setting coconuts out to collect rainwater. Because you obviously can't just drink straight from rivers in the Amazon. It makes you feel like you are trying to survive in the rainforest. Like, it does so many things that make sense. Like, it doesn't just give you every crafting recipe in your book. You have to experiment things. Like, here's me trying to figure out how to craft a spear because it didn't just tell me. Can I make like a bow or something? Okay, we have to experiment here. If I place that, or if I remove, that makes a torch. If I add another thing to string, what if I take that off and add another stick? Okay, what if I take a plank and remove the stick? Maybe there's a long stick to make a bow. So I'll move these. Yeah, I'll place that. Oh my god, I did it. I'm a genius. And right after you craft something for the first time, when you open your book, there's like a little sketch of it with its ingredients. And you get related things, like when you discover the bow, you also discover arrows, which makes sense, And since I'm on the topic of the bow, another interesting thing about it is that it actually costs stamina to pull the string back, which is very realistic, because it's not exactly easy to launch an arrow at high speeds. The sense of realism and immersion this game gives you also kind of makes it horrifying. Now, as you saw from the beginning clip in the video, there's jaguars that can sneak up on you, and you can just barely hear the low growls of them coming towards you. And most of the time, you don't really see them until it's too late. Yeah, man, okay, I'm just gonna leave those there. Nope, back off. Oh my god. Now, I think I've gotten to most things that I think this game does good, so I think it's time to move on to what kind of disappoints me. Now, on my first point of what this game did good, I mentioned how good the graphics are. And while it is true, it does bring a lot of performance issues. Now, you're looking at it right now, and you're thinking, this looks great, doesn't look like you're underperforming, but I had to install this thing called VR Perf Kit. If you want to play the PC version of this game, it's pretty much necessary unless you want to be looking at a total of 3 pixels. The difference while you're using versus not using the VR perf kit is extraordinary. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to the GitHub page where you can download it. It works on most VR games, and I'm also going to link down a tutorial, not mine, but just somebody's tutorial on how to do it. Now you may think, since that gameplay quality was so bad, that I just have a bad PC, but that is not true. I can run games like Blade Sorcery and Helldivers on max graphics, ultra quality. Yet this game just does not like to run without external help. The dev team that worked on the PC version really couldn't have cared that much about their game. Now, here's the main reason I regret buying it as early as I did, and that's because the people who developed this game in Kuvo used 2 different teams to work on the Quest and PC version of the games, instead of, just making one game and porting it to all headsets. That PC team has completely abandoned the game. The last update we got was in November of 2022, and the last time they even talked about the game was in April of 2023. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if they didn't say they were gonna do anything, they just published the game and it was done. But they promised so much. Everything that they promised, the Quest version of the game is getting. They promised co-op, multiplayer. Quest is getting that. They promised the DLCs. Quest is getting that. We're not getting any of it. They have completely neglected this part, and it has disappointed so many people who bought the game on the promise of being able to survive with their friends. Like, they just disappointed their entire community. There is always a chance that they will come back to the PC version of the game, but from the way I'm looking at it right now, it's very unlikely. And if they do come back, what they'll most likely do is they will port the Quest version of the game over to Steam, so everybody will lose everything that they have done so far, all their saves. I don't know why they did this instead of just keeping that team active and updating the game. What I find odd is that PSVR is getting all the updates Quest is, which I don't feel makes much sense, considering I doubt that there's more players on PSVR than there is on the PC version of Green Hell. Where the game is right now, I do not recommend buying it on PC. And if you happen to already own the game, I think you should probably leave a negative review, just because maybe there's a small chance that Incubo will notice the negative reviews and actually do something about the PC version of the game. I highly doubt it, but it's the best chance that this game has right now. This game has so much potential. It's really sad what happened to it, but I think that's it for this video. I will be posting every Saturday or Sunday. I already have a couple of videos out. If you guys want to go check those out, you can. I hope you watch next week's video. I'm not sure what it's going to be about. It's going to be about another VR game. So, bye. Thank you for watching.